Right, howdy everybody, welcome to Russell Heritage Golf. Today we are joined by George and we are going to be playing one of the holes on the back nine here at West Midlands Golf Club. We're talking about clearing the hips and we're going to be talking about the lead leg and the importance and the role that this plays. Show us a few little practice swings first, George. What we can see here is one, in the setup position, George flares his foot towards the target, so that helps him clear. If you swing up towards the top and pause for us, what we can also see, start to open the hips. Good. Come down a little bit later. Yeah, pre-impact, before you've hit the ball. See the way the leg has to be pointing towards the target. That's a big thing that most amateur golfers don't do. What they tend to do, swing up and pause for us, they tend to keep the leg, keep it more forward facing, yeah, and then all of a sudden you're gonna get too flippy. So one of the things you can do, which George does, is flare your foot towards the target in that setup position, which is a big thing just to help you clear those hips. Flaring the foot is a thing that will really make it so much easier. The only thing you've got to watch out for is if you flare it too much, it could possibly hinder your rotation in the backswing. So you have to find that balance. If you choose not to flare the foot, then what you'll notice with professional golfers is that the foot will spin. Most amateurs are not creating anywhere near the same sort of force that professional golfers do, which is why I tend to think this left leg or the lead leg tends to get a bit stuck, which is why I think there is a compromise in starting with the foot pointing somewhere between, say, 45 degrees, you know, to a perpendicular position. So personally, I have my foot quite flared out like so, because like I said, it helps me get that lead leg moving through the ball. So as George does say, what you got there?
3-iron.
3-iron. I mean, are you shaping this in any way?
Maybe a little bit left to right.
Okay, so the intention on this particular shot is we've got 220 odd yards uphill, right? We've got a 3-iron. His intention is to try and hit a fade. So all of, you know, as soon as you start saying fade, that then starts to suggest qualities of movement, which is George is demonstrating, which I would suggest is more downward and that way. Yeah, which again is a really important movement, especially if you're trying to get into that sort of transitional where you're more downward. This lead leg is a really sneaky thing which could make a huge difference to your game. Got 200, just over 200 yards uphill. I want to try and play a similar shot to George just because I want to try and fade this one in. Trying to hit a fade, the component that changes generally is going to be what you're doing with your hands and arms. So I want to try and get the feeling like the club's coming down more vertical to try and get the club swinging out to in. The thing that wants to stay constant at every time is your pivoting action. So like I say, whether it is going to be a little bit of a pitch shot, whether it's going to be a little bit of a chip shot, you can get into the habit of having the lead leg forward facing. It's not going to cause you any inconvenience. The balancing act that you need to find is, like I said earlier on the tee, is just to make sure that you don't flare it entirely and you go, oh yeah, wow, I can really pivot, and then you notice that you can't actually rotate without it causing any sort of problem on the knee. This is the thing. You have to get this lead leg forward facing. As you swing back, you shift your weight in towards the right hand side. You then should start to open your hips whilst the weight is still here, and then you can move into this lead leg. So by the time you're getting into that idea of hitting the ball, the leg needs to be facing towards the target. If you can get that leg facing towards the target, that's the key thing. The thigh, the thing that makes it easier is the foot. Right, let's see if I can manage this one up the hill. Pretty good.
That should be pretty good, I think.
That was pretty good. So even on some of the short game shots like we mentioned on the tee, you can have the lead leg forward facing towards the target. It will help you clear. You know, unless you're doing literally just a 20-yard chip shot, you'll always need some pivoting action on a shot, whether it's a pitch, whether it's a bunker shot. So weight on the left hand side, get the lead leg facing towards the target. It's a simple tip to help you guys clear the hips. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Always appreciate a thumbs up and a like. It's over to you, George. Great shot. And that is it, right? Always appreciate a thumbs up, like. We'll catch up with you guys again soon.